Hey, good afternoon. It's approaching noon. It might as well be noon for this 5 minutes of preamble. And I must say I am just having my second cup of coffee a little bit late in the day. So here on the noons, we have a mixture of lots of different options that might be seated, standing, standing with or without or with dwindling support from whatever your external support option is. We've got some tandem and diagonal type steps to do today, which is good for balance. Corrective steps if you overbalance or have a bit of a wobble as you're walking over an uneven surface. We've got a bit of hip hotching as always. We've got a bit of back of arm work today as well. So that's what's in store, and a bit of a coffee. Right, afternoon, Carol. Gateshead's in. Oh, here's another Carol. Can we have a triple trio of Carols, I wonder, coming in one after the other? Who's the other Carol? Ken. No, you don't count. Afternoon, Ken. Afternoon, Gillian with a G. Hope you're all good and well. And yes, I'm back from my adventures in Ireland. Adventures in Wonderland. Pretty hot foot, run, leg it, fast drive back to the airport yesterday, with us finishing in Limerick at about 3:15. There was still 2 and a bit hours to get across back to Dublin for my 7:20 flight. Yes, originally my flight was going to be about 11 o'clock at night. Loads of time, plenty of time to get there. But no, since I had to rebook, you know, that Monday fiasco that we'll learn a lesson from, but just have a laugh about it from time to time now. From that escapade, my flight was ever so much earlier than it should have been, which meant just a little bit of faster writing, faster reading, whilst Tim and I were assessing the group and giving enough of a time to buffer our arrival back into Dublin. It's an hour. It just goes like that, blip, and you're back in the UK. Apostolis is in. I nearly got all your name mixed up upside down and back to front there, my friend, but I think I managed it. Yes, thanks, Gillian. Yeah, the return leg of the journey was much smoother. No stop-offs at security, nothing exciting there. All pretty boring, really. All pretty bog standard, thank goodness. Carol Elliott's just saying hello to everyone. Maddie's just arrived as well, saying the same. Oh, what's happening there? Oh, there he is, the old cat. He's the same age as Neve, did you know? So grab your, back to the plot, grab your stretchy thing, if you've got a stretchy thing. Grab a tea towel, if you want a tea towel. Depending on what option you might choose, you might not need these. But so there are a few options there for you. Right, Margaret Hamilton's arrived as well. Good afternoon. Hello, welcome to the 12 noon back round my house, in the normal corner of the living room, and pretty much ready to go now. Right, it's Friday the 13th, isn't it? So let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. It's Friday the 13th of May, 2022. May all the luck of the Irish be with you. I reckon I brought some home with me, so I'll distribute it out during the movement snack. Better call Paul is ringing me at the minute, my decorator, my cousin. Let's get rid of him. I'll talk to him in a bit. Right, everyone, let's do this movement snack. Always starts with a setup. Hello, Odile. Good to have you here. Let's get started with our circulation booster. and a quick finish off of the coffee. Right, so standing tall if you are in standing. Sitting tall if you're in your dining chair. Lifting, lengthening. Let's get some space between our spine, the vertebrae of our spine. Let's get some space between our ears and shoulders, ribs and hips. If you're in seated, take a few hip walks forwards. More so towards the front than the middle of the chair, which frees up the back of your legs and it gives you a bit more spacage for your arms to move around. We're not going to start with arms. We normally start with legs. Hello, boy. With some foot pedals. See if you can get a bit of a crease across the toes. Rommel's just told him off. And then start to pick the feet up and lift the knees just a little bit. Not too high so it sinks your back or crunches your posture down. Just enough space for the feet to get lift off. And if you are in standing, holding onto your support lightly or not at all, might be somewhere that you've progressed onto. All right, so let's try and keep the legs going in this steady rhythmical march. You can bring in an arm as well, bend at the elbow just to shorten the lever, and that will give a little bit of drive through the arm, through the upper back and back of shoulder area. Change sides if you're not quite confident or balanced or coordinated to let go with that second arm. Okay, so keep going there. Nice and simple, easy does it, easy peasy. Not a high level of effort here, just a steady march that's a comfortable pace, and changes that you'll start to feel to your body. Should be a little bit of extra breath that's needed, so a bit of a few extra deeper, longer breaths. Heart rate gone up a tiny bit, but not thumping away too hard, and a warmth building and growing in your muscles and joints. Right, settle yourself down. You might want to go a little bit wider. Improving and widening the base of support like this can help you feel more steady if we're doing any upper body stuff in standing. There we go. Right, let me get my list of to-dos. Right, we've got a hippy, hip-related swing and a shake. So, let me put that there. If you want to, stand on one leg, have some external support either to the side that your standing leg is or straight in front of you. And what you're going to do is just make a little bit of a figure of 8. Knee in, knee out, knee in, knee out. Try and give that some fluidity. Once you've done a few round there, your hips should feel a bit looser, and you might want to take a few bigger, slower, little swinging motion. So you kind of imagine a figure of 8. Remember to change sides. Standing leg can take a bit of strain there, so maybe 3, 4, 5, have a rest, 2, have a rest, and do what's right for you there. Now here in seated, we're going to do a little bit of a knee lift, but a sink down through the posture and a little bit of a roll back. So we've got a knee lift there and just a little roll back. So you'll feel high onto your sit bones at the moment. Lift the leg up, that gets stuck after a certain point, and then to get it much higher, you have to roll back a little bit. Now, only do that as comfortably as you can, and your downwards roll should feel just as easy as manageable as your upwards roll and sit tall at the end. So a little bit of a lift, you'll feel a sticking point here, and then look, the knee can go a little bit higher when there's a little bit of a roll through the spine there. So here in seated, you're working a little bit through your posture, your lower spine area, as well as the hip. Oh, my bum bones just creaked and crunched on the chair there. There you go. Okay, you might want to have a little bit of a rest with your posture there. In standing, hopefully you've done both sides there. We're now going to have a look at a little bit of a flamingo swing. So it's a one leg balance orientated move, which looks at lifting the leg to the front, swinging it back, not with too much vigour, but that little bit of a swinging and brushing motion. You can hear my foot just scuff through. Can challenge your balance. So it's a one leg stand again, so pull up through the hip, soften off the knee so it doesn't feel locked or snapped back. And that backwards lift. Sorry, I'm just getting my stage raided by kitty cats. In seated, here you can bring feet and knees a little bit closer if you want, and we're going to sweep either one or both arms forwards and do a little bit of a change through our posture. Now if you're leaning forwards, you might want to have some support on the thigh. So we've got a bit of a swinging motion. The hips are moving a tiny bit, but it's our bending, changing of the angle of the body that we're looking for. Both arms can look like this. Need to use your body, your centre of your body muscles here to support the spine, support the posture as we take it forwards out of base of support and then back again. All right. So a bit of hippie, swingy, leggy stuff going on there. Let's have a look at our second move. Now in standing, we're going to use narrow positions to step into. We're going to come back to this base position, which is where we'll find our balance and our symmetry and our weight being shared over right side, left side. And we will try some slightly stepping across and then behind the body. Have a look what I mean here. Tall onto your standing leg, stepping forwards. If I just switch to the side, you can see there's a decent gap between my feet. I'm just switching back and back to base. Do a couple of those. You can see the wide position, the in-line position there, 2 or 3 of those. Try that to the back as well. So that leg disappears behind, share the weight. Do a couple of those as well. In standing, you want your feet and knees together and step forwards. Make sure that that foot can plant itself. Lift and step. Look down if you need to, just so that you're not treading on your own toe. Taking the weight forwards a bit. Have a go on the other side there. And then when you do the back step, it's just a matter of switching the foot behind the other. All right. Okay, stand-uppers. Here's a little bit of a change. So we're going to put a parallel step in, not parallel, a crossed over step, and then we're going to step over. So across the body. Let your body turn and go in the same direction and then come back out of it. And then to the back foot disappears behind, and then the back foot on the diagonal with a little change of position of your body. So there's the crossover, there's the diagonal heel up at the back if you like, there's the crossover, and there's the diagonal step back. So legs move in all of these different positions when we're moving, stepping, walking, if we overbalance or we look at something and lose our footing a little bit. Our legs will move and respond and react and correct all of that stuff. Here in seated, hopefully you've done a few of those placement positions. And what you can do next is a little bit extra for the hips and a stepping action. Just a couple of side steps so that you're facing and you're swizzing your bum round on your seat. This is quite useful for any adjustments or getting in and out of any seats or bench type seating that you might find around the park, around wherever you might have a coffee or go for a meal. Right, there you go. Okay, so the last bit we're going to focus on here in our movement snack is a bit of upper body work. So in seated, have a look at this. We talk about hip walking a lot, but some of the time you might need to use your arms to help adjust your position, wherever you need to adjust your position from, whether that be the floor, the settee, the bed, or any other place where you might find yourself. So we're going to take the hands to the side of the seat, tuck the feet back, and you're going to push through your arms mostly. The legs can help, and try and hotch yourself back. So I've gone from a front perch to a tailbone nestled in the back of the chair position. And you can do that again. If you've got arms on your chair, use that, and then you get a little bit more elbowy stuff in there too. So you'll need to lean forwards, push and hotch. Readjust the feet. Have a few goes at that. You'll feel a bit of load going through your palms, your wrist. You might feel it through your arms and shoulders too. From standing, we can have a go at a wall press. So let me just shift that out of the way. I'm going to turn my back to you, and then you can perhaps see the position of the hands. So this could be a wall that's straight in front of you. It could be, I've got just the ledge of the shelf here that I can put my hands over that might keep my wrists in a little bit more of a comfortable position. Now, the elbows are tucked into your side. You might want to take a couple of steps away so that you're leaning into your arms, and then it's a bend and a push, a bend and a push. So hopefully you should see my elbows just tracking into the side of my body there. Let's see if I can do it here, just on a bit of a sideways. So you can see how the body's in a little bit of a diagonal. Tummy muscles are working to support posture, and that's a bend and a push back. If you'd prefer, you can take a little bit of a step in to help the upper body out. Not a massive step though, still decent amount of work going through wrists, pushing action, certainly back of arms, start to feel it there. Do a few more. There we go. Later on in the 4 p.m, we will stretch those muscles out. So if you want to do any more tricep pushes, then we'll stretch them out later. Okay, so pushing, pressing is what these muscles in the back of the arm are really responsible for, along with movement and strength through chest as well. All right, and that'll do us, I think. That will do us. All right. Thanks, Vivian. Nice to have you here. And George has just joined us a bit late as well. Thanks everyone. Yep, home safe and sound, back to the old grindstone, I think it's called. I'll be back with you at 4 o'clock. Boy, it's been a busy week this week, but I hope we've not disrupted your body clock from the 8, 12 and 4 p.m. Too much. We'll catch you later at 4 though, for fight or flight and a good round of stretching.